Hey everyone. Tonight we'll drift together through the quiet beauty of our planet. A world of stone and fire, of slow patience and deep time. So before we begin, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you truly enjoy what I do here. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is for you right now. Now, dim the lights. Maybe let a soft fan hum in the background. And let's fall gently into tonight's journey, where the earth breathes in silence. Beneath your feet, even as you rest, the ground is alive. It moves not fast, not in a way we can see, but in long, deep breaths measured in millennia. Our planet is not a still object. It is a slow heartbeat of molten rock and cooling crust, forever in conversation with itself. Every pebble, every mountain, every whisper of sand carries the pulse of an ancient rhythm that never stopped. We call this world solid, yet it flows. Rocks stretch and bend under invisible pressure. Continents drift like dreamers, adrift in an ocean of fire. The crust, thin as the skin of an apple, floats upon the mantle, that hidden sea of heat and motion. And below that, far beneath the reach of light or life, the Earth's core burns bright, a liquid heart made of iron and nickel, glowing hotter than the surface of the Sunday. That heat is memory. It is the leftover warmth of our planet's birth, when dust gathered into stone, and stone melted into a world. 4.5 billion years have passed since then, an eternity, by human measure, yet only a breath in the story of stars. The Earth still hums with the echoes of that fiery beginning, and that hum is what keeps our magnetic field alive, our skies safe, and our nights filled with gentle auroras. If you close your eyes now, you can almost feel it, the faint tremor of creation that never ceased. Every second, energy rises from the deep, radioactive decay in the mantle, convection currents swirling like invisible tides. They drive the tectonic plates, lift mountains, and carve valleys. They give shape to continents and islands, just as the breath within you gives motion to your chest. You and the planet are not so different, both born of heat, both sustained by rhythm. Somewhere beneath the oceans, new crust is forming even now. Magma wells up along ridges like liquid dawn, spreading outward to create new seafloor. Elsewhere, in darker trenches, old crust sinks back into the mantle, melting away, returning to the cycle. Creation and destruction not as opposites, but as partners in the slow dance of Earth's renewal. Every grain of sand you've ever touched is part of that cycle. It may once have been a mountain peak, kissed by snow and storm. Then, after centuries of wind and rain, it crumbled, was carried to a river, to a delta, to an ocean. And there it settled, waiting to be pressed into sandstone, to be reborn once more. Geology is not just the study of rock. It is the study of patience. Time is its sculptor, gravity, its chisel, and silence, its language. When you walk barefoot on the ground, you are touching history written in minerals. Quartz grains beneath your toes are older than the continents themselves. Basalt, the black stone of the ocean floor, was once liquid light. Granite, the speckled skeleton of mountains, cooled slowly in the dark, crystallizing like frozen fire. Even clay, the simplest of earths, holds the dust of ancient volcanoes and the bones of vanished seas. Listen closely, and the earth whispers in frequencies beyond hearing. Microquakes ripple through the crust every minute, like the planet's slow, steady exhale. The magnetic field flickers, pulses, sings around you, invisible yet essential, a lullaby of charged particles and cosmic wind. To the cosmos, our planet is a tiny blue ember, breathing softly in the dark. The air you breathe tonight once rose from volcanic vents. The water in your body once flowed through rivers cut by glaciers. And the iron in your blood, the same element that glows within Earth's core, once belonged to a star that died before our world began. You are, quite literally, a small echo of the planet that made you. When it breathes, you breathe. So let yourself slow down. Let your thoughts settle like dust after a long storm. Feel the quiet gravity that holds you to the earth. Every sound, every heartbeat, every sigh you release joins a rhythm older than memory. The earth does not rush. It has no reason to. And tonight, neither do you. Because beneath us all, the world turns gently molten, magnetic, alive, and it breathes in silence. If you could hold the earth in your hands, shrink it down until it fit neatly in your palms, you'd notice something surprising. The solid ground we live on, the crust, would be thinner than the skin of an apple. All the mountains, the forests, the cities, everything we have ever built or dreamed, rests upon a film of rock so delicate that in cosmic scale, it could vanish with a whisper. Beneath that fragile skin, the world turns molten. The mantle, a slow-moving ocean of stone, flows with the patience of eternity. Here, heat moves not like flame, but like honey, curling upward in invisible spirals that carry continents upon their backs. It is the mantle that lets mountains rise and fall, that opens oceans and closes them again, that folds the crust as gently as you might fold a blanket. And deeper still, at the heart of it all, the core glows a sphere of molten metal, spinning faster than the surface above. Its motion creates the magnetic field that hums quietly around the planet, a veil of protection woven from liquid fire. That field catches solar wind, bends starlight, and paints the skies with aurora when night grows cold. The core's heat is older than the moon. It is the last memory of our planet's birth, energy trapped since the first collisions of dust and stone 4.5 billion years ago. Each atom inside it remembers the moment when the solar system was still a cloud of flame. It beats, slowly, like a hidden heart beneath every living thing. If you listen closely now, perhaps you can feel that pulse, the faint vibration that never ends, the low, inaudible hum that moves beneath mountains and seas. Even as you sleep, the mantle turns, the crust trembles, and the earth dreams of its own beginnings. Remember, the ground beneath you is not still. It drifts, just as clouds drift across the sky, only slower, so slow that lifetimes pass between each breath of stone. Yet that motion builds continents, raises islands, and keeps the planet alive. So tonight, as you rest, imagine holding that small blue apple in your hands. Its thin skin glows with forests and oceans. Its molten core shines with the fire of ancient stars. You are part of that apple, a seed upon its surface, carried through space on a slow, patient spin. Let that thought cradle you. Let your breathing match the rhythm of the planet itself. Slow, steady, eternal. The crust may be thin, but beneath it lies the warmth of creation, and it is enough to keep the whole world alive. Every rock you've ever held was once alive with motion. Before it hardened, before it cooled, it flowed glowing, liquid, restless. The surface of the young earth was an ocean of fire, and from that fire came the first memory of stone. Even now, deep beneath our feet, rivers of magma still move like blood through veins of the planet. Slow, molten, patient. Granite, for instance, is frozen light. It began as molten material beneath ancient mountains, cooling so slowly that crystals of quartz and feldspar had time to grow, tiny geometric gardens inside the dark. That's why granite shines faintly when you turn it in your hand, why it catches starlight on a quiet night. It's not merely rock, it's crystallized time, a record of Earth's deep calm after a storm of creation. Basalt tells another story, the story of motion and release. Born from lava that erupted at ocean ridges and volcanoes, basalt spreads across the seafloor like a black ocean of glass. It cools quickly, forming small crystals, or none at all. It is the handwriting of the planet's restless heart, written in dark strokes across the crust. Every new ridge that forms beneath the sea is a fresh page of that story, and the old ones are drawn back into the mantle, recycled, reborn. And obsidian, the volcanic glass, is the moment magma turned to mirror. Sharp, pure, reflective. It forms when lava cools too fast for crystals to grow. Ancient peoples once used it for tools, but even they sensed its strange beauty. How it seemed to hold the last light of the volcano inside it. To look into obsidian is to glimpse the memory of molten fire, a liquid past frozen mid-breath. Stone is never truly dead. Pressure, heat, and time can awaken it again, transforming shale into slate, limestone into marble. This metamorphosis, this slow rebirth, is how the planet breathes through its own matter. Every grain of sand, every pebble, is part of a great recycling of worlds. What was once mountain becomes sediment, and what was once sediment rises again as mountain. In geology, endings are beginnings, wearing different faces. If you could listen to rocks, you would hear the sound of patience. They record pressure, temperature, chemistry, but also silence and stillness and weight. Each crystal is a clock, each mineral a sentence in the language of time. A thin section of granite, under a microscope, looks like a mosaic of color pinks, blues and golds. A frozen sunrise from billions of years ago. That color, that pattern, is not random. It is the fingerprint of heat and depth, the memory of the conditions that gave it life. The oldest known minerals on Earth, zircons, are more than 4 billion years old. Tiny fragments of the planet's first crust. They carry isotopic whispers of ancient water and atmosphere. Inside them, scientists read the earliest chapters of our story. The moment when Earth cooled enough to hold oceans, when fire gave way to steam, and steam to rain, and rain to rivers that carved the first valleys into stone. When you walk among cliffs or hold a pebble at the beach, you are holding the result of all that memory. The rock beneath your hand might once have rested beneath mountains, higher than Everest, or at the bottom of an ocean, long vanished. Each stone is a traveler, moving through cycles of pressure, heat, and erosion, writing and rewriting itself across the eons. You can close your eyes and imagine it. The magma cooling in the dark, the crystals forming slowly, the crust shifting and breaking, the rain washing, the wind shaping. It happens too slowly for eyes to see, but the earth feels it, and if you are very quiet, you can feel it too, that deep, patient rhythm of transformation. So tonight, let the thought of stone comfort you. Let its slowness steady your pulse. The rocks remember everything: fire and rain, creation and rest, the first oceans and the last continents. They ask for nothing, they hurry for nothing, and yet they endure. Time moves through them like breath through lungs of granite, and through you too, because you too are made of stone and starlight, shaped by fire, cooled by time, a quiet part of the Earth's long memory. Deep beneath the crust, in darkness, no light has ever touched. Carbon sleeps. It waits. Simple, ordinary carbon, the same element that builds our breath, our bones, and every leaf that reaches toward the Sunday. But when that carbon is pressed, under unimaginable weight and heat, something extraordinary begins. Atoms rearrange themselves, locking together in the tightest embrace known to nature. And from that pressure, from that long, unhurried transformation. A diamond is born. Most take billions of years to form, deep within the mantle, where temperatures reach beyond the heat of molten metal and pressures rise high enough to crush steel. There, in silence, carbon becomes clarity, a crystal so strong, so pure, that light itself bends and dances inside it. When volcanoes erupt, they sometimes tear these hidden gems from their birthplaces, carrying them upward through narrow pipes of rock called kimberlites. They rise through magma, through crust, through miles of stone, until they reach the surface. Tiny survivors of a journey from the planet's fiery heart. Every diamond you've ever seen was once buried hundreds of kilometers below your feet, carried upward on the breath of a volcano. Hold one in your hand, and you hold the story of transformation, of pressure turned to beauty, of darkness turned to light. Each crystal is a frozen moment when ordinary carbon became something eternal. They are, in every way, the patience of the earth made visible. Sometimes, when the conditions align perfectly, a diamond can form almost instantly, a heartbeat of heat and pressure so intense that carbon folds into perfection in a single blink of geological time. But even those born in a flash carry within them the memory of eons, a whisper of the deep earth, a record of creation, etched in lattice and light. The same element that makes smoke and soot, when shaped by patience, becomes diamond. And maybe that is the planet's quiet lesson, that pressure is not destruction, it is transformation, that even in the deepest dark, beneath the greatest weight, something luminous can still be born. When you close your eyes tonight, think of that carbon sleeping in the mantle, dreaming of the day it will rise as light. You are made of the same dust, the same elements, the same possibility. You, too, are a story of pressure and transformation. And in time, in patience, you, too, become something that shines. So breathe in. Let the heaviness around you settle like deep rock. Let every thought, every worry, sink slowly into the mantle of your mind. There, it will change shape, heat into calm, weight into stillness, and in that stillness, you will find your own quiet brilliance. If you look at a mountain, it seems eternal still, unmoving, ancient, beyond imagination. But that stillness is an illusion. Mountains breathe, not as lungs do, but as the earth itself does. Slowly, invisibly, across the ages, deep beneath their roots, the planet stirs. Tectonic plates, vast slabs of stone, push and collide, rising inch by inch. In the Himalayas, this slow collision between India and Eurasia still lifts the peaks higher than your fingernails grow. Each year, Everest climbs a few millimeters closer to the stars. To us, these movements are imperceptible, but to time the true witness, they are the steady inhale and exhale of the earth. A mountain is the result of an ancient collision still unfolding, a frozen wave caught mid-rise. Far below, molten rock churns like a tide, and that motion carries continents upon its back. Where plates meet, crust buckles and folds, lifting entire ranges into the sky. Where they pull apart, new land is born, fresh crust rising from the deep mantle to replace what time erodes away. And erosion never sleeps. Rain, wind, and ice carve the peaks grain by grain, wearing them down as the earth builds them anew. It is a perfect balance, creation and destruction, rising and falling, the inhale and exhale of stone. This is how the planet stays alive, not in sudden bursts of motion, but in the long rhythm of uplift and erosion. When glaciers flow, they sculpt the mountains further, smoothing some, sharpening others, leaving behind valleys and rivers that continue the work. Every cliff you see is a moment in that cycle, an exposed memory, a glimpse of the Earth remaking itself. If you could speed up time, you would see mountains ripple like waves. The Himalayas would rise and sigh. The Andes would shiver. The Rockies would breathe in their sleep. You would see the continents drift like slow clouds over a molten sea. Everything that seems fixed would soften, melt, move. The rocks beneath your feet may once have rested on the ocean floor. They were born of coral reefs, volcanic plains, and sand turned to stone under ancient seas. Now they stand at the roof of the world. In a few 100 million years, they will fall again, washed back to sand, returned to the quiet of the deep. Nothing is ever lost in this rhythm, only transformed. When you breathe in now, you join that motion. The same air that sighs over peaks, once drifted through forests buried long ago, once touched lava as it cooled in the night. Your breath is part of the planet's slow respiration, shared with oceans, with trees, with the sleeping giants of stone. So when you feel the ground beneath you, remember, it is alive, not in the way of hearts and lungs, but in something vaster, quieter, older. Every rise, every quake, every whisper of wind is the earth adjusting its posture, exhaling, reminding us that stillness is only the illusion of motion, too slow to see. Let that thought cradle you now. Imagine yourself resting against a mountainside, feeling its heartbeat through the ground. Each pulse is millions of years long, each breath a geological eternity. And yet, you are part of it, a single sigh in the lungs of the world. Sleep now, and let the mountain breathe with you. Let its patience become your own. For in the quiet rhythm of the earth's rising and falling, there is peace. The peace of knowing that everything moves and everything endures. The ground beneath you is not still. It moves slowly, endlessly, like clouds made of stone. Entire continents float atop the mantle, drifting across a sea of molten rock, so deep and so vast that its current can carry worlds. This motion is called plate tectonics, a phrase that sounds mechanical, but is in truth almost poetic. It means that the planet's surface is not one unbroken shell, but a mosaic of living plates, each sliding, colliding, and folding into the next. The speed is gentle, just a few centimeters a year, no faster than your fingernails grow. And yet, over millions of years, that quiet drift has rearranged the face of the earth. Oceans have opened and vanished. Mountains have risen, then crumbled back into sand. Deserts have become seafloors. Islands have walked across the planet like slow travelers lost in time. Long ago, all land was one. The supercontinent Pangaea, a single vast mass stretching from pole to pole. Its interior was dry and silent, its edges lush with ancient forests. Then, under the pull of unseen forces, cracks appeared, widening into oceans. The Atlantic was born, a wound that never healed, still widening even now beneath the waves. Where the plates drift apart, new crust forms as molten rock wells upward, cooling into fresh basalt. Where they collide, one plate dives beneath another, melting again into the mantle's fire. It is an endless recycling, the planet remaking its own skin, over and over, with patience so great it could outlast imagination. The continents you know today, Africa, Asia, the Americas, each was once joined to another, then torn free, and will one day join again. Scientists call this the supercontinent cycle, the Earth's slow heartbeat, measured not in years, but in hundreds of millions of years. It has happened many times before, and it will happen again. The land beneath your feet is already on its way somewhere else. Australia drifts northward toward Asia. The Atlantic Ocean widens with every tide. One day, far beyond memory. The continents will merge again into a new supercontinent, a world with different mountains, different oceans, different stars reflected in new seas. And though we will not be here to see it, the motion will continue, quiet, certain, endless. The Earth will keep breathing, folding itself into new forms, the same way waves reshape the shore, the same way dreams reshape our thoughts while we sleep. Close your eyes and imagine it, the slow drift of continents beneath you, the mantle flowing below like molten honey, the surface shifting, softly, silently. Every step you take rests upon something moving, and yet you never feel it, because you too are part of its motion. Your heartbeat, your breath, your pulse, they are all echoes of that same rhythm, the deep, patient rhythm of the world beneath you. So tonight, let the thought of drifting continents lull you. The world is moving, the ground is breathing, and you are safe upon it, carried gently across the slow ocean of time. Sleep now, while the planet sails quietly beneath the stars, turning, drifting, dreaming of new worlds yet to be born. Deep within the earth, where heat presses against silence, beauty is born from patience. Minerals rearrange themselves in the slow language of pressure and heat, and over eons, the planet creates its jewels. Crystals are time made visible. Each one grows according to rules of symmetry. Atom aligning with atom, light learning how to rest inside stone. They are the handwriting of chemistry. Précise, élégant, éternel. Imagine this, a drop of mineral-rich water, cooling deep in the crust. Atoms gather like dancers finding their rhythm. Molecules lock into patterns, repeating until a shape appears. A prism, a hexagon, a lattice of impossible order. In that moment, something chaotic becomes calm. Quartz, amethyst, topaz, sapphire, each carries a different vibration, a different shade of the planet's breath. Rubies and sapphires are the same at heart. Born from corundum, their colors changed only by a trace element or two. A whisper of chromium turns one red. A touch of iron and titanium, blue. Such tiny changes, and yet entire worlds of color unfold. Emeralds form only when the rarest conditions meet. Mountain heat and beryllium-rich water, colliding in improbable harmony. Their green glow is not just color, it is a memory of chemistry that nearly never happened. Each fracture, each inclusion, is a signature of its impossible birth. And opal is liquid light frozen in stone. It forms when ancient groundwater, carrying dissolved silica, dries in empty spaces within rock. Tiny spheres of silica align, in microscopic layers, bending light into rainbows. That shimmer you see is structure, not pigment, a rainbow made of geometry. Every gem is a story of transformation. Carbon becomes diamond under unbearable pressure, a lesson that beauty sometimes requires pain. Sand becomes quartz, mud becomes jade, impurities become color, and time becomes art. In laboratories, scientists now grow crystals in days that once took nature millennia. They understand the physics, but still, something about the natural process feels sacred. The way the planet takes its time, the way pressure becomes peace. To hold a gem is to hold patience itself. Each facet is a reflection of deep time, of gravity and heat and silence working together. When cut and polished, the crystal reveals what was hidden, the symmetry of atoms, the geometry of stillness. Gemstones are not just adornments. They are echoes of Earth's heartbeat, a physical translation of balance, clarity, and endurance. They remind us that even in darkness, light waits to be born. Sometimes I think of the Earth as an artist. Its palette is made of elements. Its canvas, pressure. Each crystal is a brushstroke, a small act of quiet brilliance, painted beneath miles of stone. And when those stones reach the surface, carried by magma, polished by rivers, lifted by tectonic grace, they shimmer with the memory of their making. Every sparkle is a flash of time itself, a billion years refracted into a single point of light. Close your eyes. Imagine that light resting at the center of your chest, steady, clear, ancient. It hums with the same rhythm as the Earth's core, the same warmth that forged all matter. You are not separate from it. You are made of the same minerals, the same dust of stars. Let that awareness settle, quiet as crystal growth in darkness. Feel the patience of stone within your own heartbeat. You too are a gem, shaped by time, cut by experience, polished by life. Sleep now. Let the planets glow, cradle your dreams. Somewhere beneath your resting body, new crystals are forming, growing slowly, quietly, perfectly, reminding you that even in stillness, you are becoming. Before there was land, there was water. Before there was life, there was a sea learning how to breathe. The ocean is the planet's oldest memory. It has seen every dawn, every extinction, every return of light. It remembers the sky, its clouds, its storms, its passing moods. For what falls from above always finds its way back below. When rain touches the surface of the sea, it does not disappear. It joins a cycle older than mountains, evaporating, condensing, falling again, a breath that never stops. Each wave carries within it a trace of the first storms that swept across a young world. Salt fills the sea, like memory fills the mind. It holds the record of all rivers that ever flowed, of every stone dissolved by time. The taste of the ocean is the taste of the planet's own body, a reminder that water and rock have always spoken to each other. Beneath the surface, light falls and forgets itself. Colors fade to blue, then vanish into black. Yet even there, in that quiet dark, life glows. Tiny creatures shimmer with borrowed light, pulsing in rhythms that echo the stars. The deep ocean is a mirror turned inward, reflecting the cosmos in liquid form. Sound travels faster here than anywhere else. Whales call across entire oceans, their songs bending with temperature and depth. Every note they sing is a map of the water's shape. Scientists listen to these sounds, to hear the world breathe, to measure how heat moves, how ice melts, how the planet sighs beneath changing skies. In the darkest trenches, 7 miles deep, the pressure could crush steel, and yet life endures, delicate, glowing, unafraid. There, at the edges of what we can imagine, the Earth whispers its oldest truths, that endurance is quiet, that patience outlives power, and that beauty hides in places no light has ever reached. The ocean floor is not flat. It is a mountain range, longer than any on land, rising and folding in silence. Molten rock seeps from its ridges, cooling into new crust, a reminder that even beneath calm waves, the world is creating itself. Volcanoes bloom in darkness. Minerals rain like snow. Entire ecosystems thrive without sunlight, feeding on the chemistry of the Earth's heart. Above, tides rise and fall to the rhythm of the moon's pull. It is the most ancient dance we know, a love story between water and gravity. Each tide smooths a shoreline, writes a new line in the poem of the coast, and when the tide retreats, it leaves behind small glimmers of the sky. Shells, foam, driftwood, each a memory the sea decided to return. Every living thing on land carries the sea within it. Our blood is salt water, Our cells remember the tides. When we breathe, we echo the rise and fall of waves. The ocean does not end at the shore. It continues in us, a moving reflection of the deep. Sometimes, when the night is quiet and the air is heavy with mist, you can almost hear it, that slow, patient heartbeat of water, the sound of waves against the sand, the sigh of tides against rock, the whisper of foam collapsing into itself. It is the same rhythm that moves the clouds, that stirs the mantle, that keeps the planet alive. Close your eyes. Imagine floating on the open sea, the stars above you, the world below, and between them silence. The ocean holds you gently, reminding you that all motion, all change, is just water finding its way home. Let yourself drift. Let your thoughts become tides, rising, falling, returning. There is nothing to control, nothing to keep. Everything flows, and in that flow, everything is remembered. Sleep now, beneath the sound of the sea that remembers the sky. You are part of its story, a ripple in its surface, a wave in its dream. The water moves, the stars reflect, and somewhere, the earth turns softly in its sleep. In the quiet of night, when the world grows still and the mind begins to drift, the earth remembers where it came from. Long before mountains rose, before oceans formed, before the first breath of wind or whisper of rain, there was only dust, stardust, glowing softly in the cradle of a newborn galaxy. Every grain of sand, every atom of iron, every spark of carbon within your body was once part of a star. Somewhere, billions of years ago, a sun older than ours collapsed, its heart exploding outward, scattering elements across space, like seeds in a cosmic garden. From those ashes, new stars were born, planets coalesced, and among them this one, our Earth, a small, luminous stone, carrying the memory of light. The iron in your blood was forged in that stellar furnace. The calcium in your bones once shimmered in the heart of a dying star. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are its echo, its continuation. When you touch a rock, you touch time itself. That stone may have once been molten fire, then mountain, then sand, then stone again. It has seen more dawns than there are words for morning. It carries the fingerprints of volcanoes, the size of oceans, the weight of glaciers. Every pebble is a library of the infinite. Scientists call it deep time, the incomprehensible vastness of Earth's history. It's measured not in years, but in transformations. Fire into stone, stone into dust, dust into life. In that measure, we are brief, a single heartbeat in the planet's dream. But even a heartbeat leaves an echo. The same gravity that holds the moon in its path, pulls the tides, guides the rivers, shapes the flow of air through your lungs. You are part of that same law, that same rhythm. To breathe is to move in harmony with the stars. Sometimes, when you look up, it feels like the night sky is gazing back. Perhaps it is, for the light that touches your eyes tonight has traveled for centuries, crossing the dark between suns, just to meet you here. In that brief exchange, the universe sees itself. The stars do not shine to be seen. They shine because they cannot help it. So does the earth. So do you. All things born of light must one day return to it, not as loss, but as continuation, the same way rivers return to the sea, and the sea returns to the sky. When your thoughts grow heavy, when the noise of the world fades, remember this. You are made of the oldest things, and yet you are still becoming. You are the silence of stone and the song of stars, woven into one. Close your eyes now. Feel the slow turning of the earth beneath you, the quiet hum of the core, the gentle pull of the moon above. You are held between gravity and light, between what falls And what shines? Let the memory of stone steady you. Let the memory of stars guide you home. The universe is vast, but it is also gentle. And tonight, it is breathing with you. Sleep now, traveler of light and dust. The earth cradles you. The stars watch over you, and in their endless memory, you are eternal. Beneath the calm surface of the oceans, the planet works in silence. Far below the drifting waves, in darkness, colder than ice and older than light, the earth is building new worlds. At the bottom of the sea, a chain of mountains stretches across the planet. The mid-ocean ridges, longer than all the continents combined. There, in the thin crack between tectonic plates, the mantle rises to breathe. Magma wells upward, spilling slowly onto the seafloor, cooling into basalt as black as midnight. This is the spreading center, where new crust is born. Each drop of molten rock that hardens there pushes the ocean floor a little wider, a few centimeters each year. It is so steady, so gentle, that the Atlantic itself has been growing since before humanity began to speak. The oceans are alive, growing and changing as the planet exhales heat from within. Along these ridges, hydrothermal vents bloom like underwater gardens of fire. Boiling water rich in minerals gushes into the freezing deep, and around these chimneys of smoke, life gathers. Giant tube worms, pale crabs, microbes that feed not on sunlight, but on chemistry, breathing metal, eating stone. Here, life learned to thrive without light, in a world illuminated only by heat and faith. Scientists believe that perhaps, in a place like this, life itself first began, cradled in the dark by a patient ocean. Before the first dawn, before photosynthesis, before breath, there was this: water, rock, and heat, whispering life into being. The crust that forms here slowly drifts outward, carried by the conveyor of tectonic motion. As it moves away from the ridge, it cools, hardens, and sinks deeper into the sea. For tens of millions of years it travels like this, until finally, at the edge of another continent, it is swallowed again into the mantle, melted down to begin anew. This is the heartbeat of the planet. Creation at the ridges, destruction at the trenches, a cycle of endless renewal. Every rock on Earth is part of this journey, rising, cooling, sinking, reborn. Even the cliffs and beaches you know were once born from the fire of the sea. If you could listen with the ears of time, you'd hear the soft crackle of magma beneath the ocean, the whisper of bubbles from vents, the sigh of plates shifting in the dark. It is a music without sound, a rhythm too slow for hearts to follow, but not too slow for dreams. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself floating above that ridge, lightless water pressing around you, heat shimmering from below. Far beneath, the earth breathes in quiet plumes of smoke. New crust forms like the skin of a sleeping creature. It's peaceful there, utterly still, and yet everything is moving. You are drifting above the hidden heart of the planet, the place where stone is born, and the cycle of renewal never stops. In that darkness, life continues. The world remakes itself, and the ocean guards its secret, the memory of beginnings. Sleep now, and let the thought of that slow creation calm you. Like the magma that cools into form, your thoughts can settle into stillness. Let the deep ocean hum beneath your dreams, steady and eternal, the hidden heart of the earth, still beating softly in the dark. The earth has a secret way of breathing, and sometimes it exhales fire. Volcanoes are the lungs of the planet, opening where pressure builds too long, where molten rock seeks release from the deep. Each eruption is not rage, but balance, the world finding its way back to stillness. Deep beneath mountains and seas, magma collects in chambers of stone, glowing with a slow inner light. It moves in silence, so patient it can take centuries to rise. When it finally reaches the surface, it does not simply destroy, it creates. New land, new rock, new possibilities. Lava is liquid memory, born from the mantle's slow dream. When it spills across the ground, it carries minerals from the deep earth, elements forged in the planet's first fires. As it cools, it hardens into basalt, obsidian, pumice, each with its own voice, its own story written in heat and pressure. Some eruptions are gentle, a steady river of glowing orange flowing quietly under the stars. Others are sudden and wild, plumes of ash rising into the sky, the ground trembling with ancient power. Yet even in chaos, there is purpose. Volcanoes release gases that feed our atmosphere, build new crust for oceans, and shape the land that later becomes home to forests and life. Without volcanoes, there would be no continents, no soil rich enough for growth, no sky for breath. Their fire made the world fertile, turning stone into the dust that would one day cradle seeds. In their destruction, they create renewal. In the Pacific Ring of Fire, hundreds of volcanoes encircle the ocean, each connected by the same deep pulse. Beneath them, tectonic plates slide and melt, their friction birthing heat that rises through the crust. From Indonesia to Iceland, the earth speaks in the same ancient language. Fire, pressure, release. The black glass of obsidian, formed when lava cools too quickly, still holds the last shimmer of its journey. When you touch it, you're touching cooled lightning, stone that once flowed like water. Pumice, light enough to float, is the frozen breath of gas escaping from molten rock. And basalt, solid and dark, forms the very floor of the oceans. From these textures and colors, the planet paints itself anew. Sometimes, entire islands rise from the sea overnight, newborn land smoking beneath the waves. In places like Hawaii, lava meets water in a hiss of steam and rainbows. It's not violence you're hearing, but the sound of creation, the hiss of a planet reshaping itself, stone by stone, breath by breath. Even now, thousands of small eruptions happen unseen on the ocean floor each year. Most never reach the surface, but they help the planet vent its heat, keeping balance deep within. Without that release, the Earth would swell and crack under its own heartbeat. Fire, after all, is not the enemy of peace. It is its guardian. Close your eyes and imagine standing near a calm volcano at dusk. The air is warm, carrying a faint metallic scent. You can feel the rumble beneath your feet, a deep, slow pulse, the Earth's breathing made audible. The sky glows softly, and in that glow, you can sense both creation and rest. Let that sound comfort you. It is the same rhythm that shaped the land you stand on, that carved the mountains, that feeds the soil beneath your hands. Even fire, when seen in stillness, is part of the great calm, the balance that holds the world together. Sleep now, and let the planet's quiet fire warm your thoughts. The Earth is breathing, softly, patiently, and every breath it takes is keeping you alive. The Earth remembers, not in words, but in whispers of magnetism and stone. Every rock is a recording, a page in the planet's silent diary. Inside each grain of iron or crystal of basalt lies a memory of direction, a trace of where the magnetic field once pointed, the invisible breath of the Earth's core captured in mineral form. Billions of years ago, when molten rock cooled for the first time, tiny crystals aligned themselves with the planet's magnetic field, just as iron filings align around a magnet. As the lava hardened, those crystals froze in place, locking in the direction of the Earth's magnetic north, a compass needle sealed in stone. Scientists call this paleomagnetism, and through it, the rocks speak. When we measure their patterns, we discover that the magnetic poles have flipped again and again. North becoming south, south becoming north, every few 100,000 years. It's as if the planet breathes in polarity, inhaling and exhaling direction, forever finding balance between opposites. At the mid-ocean ridges, this pattern forms stripes, bands of magnetic rock on the seafloor, each recording the field as it was when the crust was born. One stripe points north, the next south, a barcode of time stretching across the ocean floor. When scientists first saw this, they realized the truth. The continents are moving, and the Earth itself is rewriting its magnetic story. But the planet records more than magnetism. It keeps seismic whispers too. Each earthquake sends ripples through the crust, and those ripples echo back clues about what lies deep within. Listening to them, geophysicists can read the interior of the world, the way a doctor listens to a heartbeat. They hear layers, the crust, the mantle, the core, each vibrating with its own tone, its own frequency of being. Even the winds and waves contribute to this quiet orchestra. Pressure, vibration, resonance. The planet hums constantly at frequencies too low for human ears. It is called the Earth's hum, a natural music produced by the motion of oceans, the rumble of distant storms, the sigh of tides against continents. If we could hear it, it would sound like the slow breathing of a giant asleep. Every glacier, every canyon, every coral reef records time in its own language. Ice keeps layers of snowfall, like pages of a frozen book, each ring carrying trapped air, ancient sunlight, and the faint echo of seasons long past. Canyons reveal walls of sediment, each color a memory of flood and drought. Even corals, tiny architects of the sea, build their homes in patterns that trace the rhythm of tides and moonlight. When we study these layers and lines, we are not just learning geology. We are listening to a planet that never stopped speaking. Every magnetic reversal, every fossil shell, every wave-shaped dune is a sentence in the language of time. It tells us where the Earth has been and hints at where it might go. Sometimes I think the Earth remembers us too. Footprints pressed into ancient mud, turned to stone over millennia, still hold the shape of our passing. Even when we are gone, those impressions remain, our small, brief addition to the planet's memory. If you close your eyes now and listen with more than your ears, you might feel that memory surrounding you, a field of quiet magnetism, a vibration of deep continuity. You are standing on an archive so vast that no library could contain it. You are part of the story it tells, a tiny echo woven into its endless recording. So breathe softly. Let the world's hum settle into your pulse. The same magnetic field that guides birds and compasses passes through you now, tying you to every mountain, every ocean ridge, every field of drifting sand. The Earth is remembering, and tonight, it remembers gently with you. Water is the gentlest sculptor, and yet the most persistent. It moves without hurry, without anger, and in doing so, it reshapes the world. Every drop that falls from the sky is part of a story older than mountains. Rain gathers in rivulets, streams join into rivers, and rivers find their way to the sea. On their journey, they carry fragments of the earth, grains of sand, slivers of stone, tiny pieces of what once was mountain, now set adrift. We call this erosion, but that word feels too mechanical, too small. In truth, it is a slow act of art. Each curve of a canyon, each bend of a river, each valley between ridges is shaped by this endless patience. Given time enough, Water can carve through solid granite, create caverns vast as cathedrals, and sculpt arches that seem to float against the sky. Consider the Grand Canyon, a mile deep, carved by the Colorado River over millions of years. What we see today is not destruction, but memory exposed, layer upon layer of sediment, each color a chapter of Earth's long story. Through these layers, you can read epochs, floods and droughts, rising seas and shifting sands, the rhythm of the planet written in stone and water. And beneath the surface, water moves in secret. It seeps through cracks and limestone, dissolving and reshaping the underground world. This is how caves are born. Stalactites dripping from ceilings like frozen rain, stalagmites rising like slow-growing trees of stone. Each drop leaves behind a whisper of mineral, a crystal memory that grows by less than a breath each year. Some caves have taken millions of years to form, their walls shimmering like candlelight caught in rock. In these dark places, streams sing softly in the distance, and the air tastes of minerals and time. No sunlight reaches there, but life still finds a way. Blind fish, pale insects, creatures that have adapted to the eternal twilight of the Earth's veins. They live in the hush of water's patience, in the gentle persistence of flow. Water's path is guided by gravity, yet it always finds grace. It curves, never forcing, always yielding. And because it yields, it endures. When it meets resistance, it waits, presses gently, and over time, even the hardest rock must give way. That is the quiet wisdom of water, to move by surrender, not by strength. And when water freezes, it expands, cracking stone apart from within. Each winter's frost, each thaw, each storm adds another brushstroke to the Earth's slow sculpture. Through this cycle of freeze and melt, the planet breathes in seasons. Every cloud that drifts above you was once ocean, and every ocean once fell as rain. The same molecules of water have traveled this cycle for billions of years, from sea to sky to river to stone. Perhaps the droplet that rests now in your palm once fell on the first forests, or glided across the scales of ancient reptiles, or shimmered on the shell of a trilobite in a vanished sea. Close your eyes and listen. The world around you hums with the sound of water, the pulse in your veins, the rhythm of rain against windows, the echo of waves far away. All of it is one heartbeat, the movement of life, the flow of the planet itself. Let that rhythm steady you. Let it cool the noise inside your mind. Like water finding its path through stone, your thoughts can flow quietly, naturally, toward stillness. And there, in that stillness, you become part of the same ancient current, the one that carves mountains, shapes valleys, and writes eternity, drop by drop. Sleep now. Let the river of time carry you gently, past canyons of memory, through caves of dreams, toward the calm sea of rest. There are rivers that do not sparkle or sing. They do not rush or tumble or roar. They move in silence, so slowly that, to the eye, they seem completely still. These are glaciers, rivers of ice that flow like honey, creeping across valleys, carving mountains into their patient shapes. Each one is a frozen breath of time, a body of water that forgot how to melt. A glacier begins as snow, flake upon flake, falling over centuries, pressing into itself, until it becomes dense enough to turn to crystal. Layer by layer, the snow transforms into ice so heavy that gravity takes hold. And then, almost imperceptibly, it begins to move. At the surface, you might see only white stillness, a kingdom of frost under pale skies. But beneath, the ice flows, bending around rock, grinding stone into sand, smoothing valleys like fingers tracing clay. The movement is so slow that a single human life is a heartbeat to it, a blink of frozen light. Glaciers carve landscapes, the way memory shapes the mind, slowly, deeply, leaving behind valleys, lakes, and plains that define the earth long after the ice has gone. Wherever they have passed, they leave behind signs, scratches on rock, mounds of gravel, rivers born from melting hearts. Even now, as the planet warms, these giants retreat, their meltwater rushing to the sea, their voices turning from silence to song. Some have vanished already, their names now only echoes in the language of the mountains. But their legacy remains. Every fertile valley, every curve of land, was once shaped by the soft insistence of ice. If you could stand upon one now, you would hear nothing, only the occasional crack of stress, the deep groan of ice shifting under its own weight. It is the sound of time itself stretching. Inside the glacier, air bubbles are trapped, tiny pockets of ancient atmosphere, holding the breath of long-extinct forests, the sighs of mammoths, the whispers of forgotten winters. Scientists study these bubbles to read the diary of the planet's past, its temperature, its storms, its quiet, steady rhythm through the ages. In this way, ice is not just frozen water. It is memory made visible, transparent history, a lens through which we glimpse the patience of the world. And though glaciers seem eternal, they too are part of the cycle. As they melt, their water returns to the sea, evaporates into clouds, and falls again as snow, the beginning of another river of ice. Nothing is lost, only transformed. There's a strange serenity in knowing that even the coldest things move, that stillness is only a slower form of flow. If mountains breathe in centuries, then glaciers exhale in millennia. They are the slowest pulse of the earth, a heartbeat you can only feel if you listen. With patience, instead of ears, close your eyes for a moment. Imagine standing at the edge of one, a blue expanse stretching beyond sight, the air sharp and clean, the light soft as silk. Each crack in the ice glows like crystal veins, each ripple a frozen wave in motion. You can almost feel the glacier drifting beneath you, imperceptible but steady. Let that slowness enter you. Let your thoughts move like ice, graceful, unhurried, carving away everything that no longer belongs. You are part of this same rhythm, a life moving gently through time, changing shape, so slowly that the transformation feels like stillness. Sleep now, beneath the glow of polar skies. The glacier moves, the world breathes, and all of it is happening in perfect, silent harmony. The earth is never still, even in its quietest moments. It hums, a low, continuous murmur, beneath everything we do not hear. Every second, tiny tremors ripple through the crust. They are called microquakes, movements so small that no human feels them, but the planet does. They happen constantly, thousands each day, gentle adjustments in the grand machinery of stone. This is how the earth breathes, not with lungs, but with pressure and release, a pulse measured not in seconds, but in centuries. When the planet grows tense, stress builds within its plates. When it releases, the ground sighs. The energy travels through rock-like sound, through air, and the whole world listens. We call them earthquakes, but to the planet, they are just small stretches, like the flex of muscles, the shifting of weight during sleep. Most pass unnoticed, too faint to disturb. A few grow stronger, reminding us that the crust we walk upon is alive and that we are guests upon its skin. Deep faults mark the boundaries of these movements. The San Andreas, the Himalayas, the vast ridges beneath the sea. Each one is a line of conversation, between plates that press and drift, each one carrying the slow message of motion. They grind, slip, and realign, and with every tremor, the shape of the world changes. Just a little, but enough for time to take notice. The energy that travels through the earth during a quake is not chaos. It is pattern, waves rippling outward, carrying information about what lies below. Scientists use those waves to read the planet's interior, like sauna for stone. Through them, we've discovered the liquid outer core, the solid inner heart, the layered rhythm of the mantle. Even in its trembling, the earth is generous with truth. Sometimes, those vibrations are powerful enough to shift the axis of the planet slightly, to alter the length of a day by a fraction of a second. Time itself listens to the Earth's movements. Every quake is a small correction, a reminder that perfection in nature is not stillness, but balance through motion. And yet, there are even quieter sounds. The Earth hum, a persistent vibration that fills the world, like background music. It comes from waves, striking coasts, winds pressing against mountains, storms, drumming across the sea. The planet hums as it turns, and we, without knowing, hum along with it. Sometimes, instrument deep underground record tremors from events beyond the Earth, meteor impacts, tidal pulls from the moon, the deep resonance of shifting magma. The crust is an instrument, and the universe is always playing. Its notes are slow, its melody endless, but if we could hear it, we might find it soothing, a lullaby, written in stone. Think of all the times you have felt the ground steady beneath your feet. That stability is a gift of motion perfectly balanced. The earth sways, flexes, but holds you with unwavering care. It shifts just enough to stay alive, just enough to breathe. Close your eyes now. Imagine pressing your palm to the ground. Beneath it, miles of rock rest and flow. You cannot feel them, but they are moving, whispering in frequencies too low for thought. Your heartbeat echoes that same rhythm. Your pulse and the planets are one. The world shivers gently in its sleep, but not from fear, from dreaming. It is dreaming of new mountains, of oceans reshaping, of continents dancing their slow waltz. And you, small and warm upon its surface, are part of that dream. Let that thought settle in you, the comfort of motion, the peace of knowing that even the trembling of the earth is part of its song. Sleep now, and let the hum of the planet cradle you. In its whispers and shivers, you are home.